Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhaite girim yat kripat maham mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vishnu. Hare Krishna. I think there is, because of change of timing, I think there is some devotees. No? Okay, so let's start. Hare Krishna. So we are starting our Bhagavad Gita advanced course now, and in this we will first discuss about the Prakriti. If we remember, we discussed in the basic course that there are 5 things discussed in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone remembers? 5 things discussed in Bhagavad Gita.
Life is not all in all.
Very good. Life is not all in all means there is Atma. Body is not. Body is Atma. Basically Atma, soul, or Jiva. All of us, Jiva. And second, what is?
The body is not all in all.
Also, that is Atma.
So, the situation is not all in all.
Okay, situation. Then there is Kala, time.
What is not all in all?
World is not all in all. Prakriti.
Life is not all in all.
Ishvara, very good. Ishvara, God. You remember the 5 things?
We are not all in all.
We are not all in all. Perfect. That is Ishvara. So the 5 things that are so the 5 things that are described in Bhagavad Gita. First is Jiva. That is soul. That is elaborately discussed, and we discussed that how we are not this body, we are spirit soul. The second thing that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita, that is God, that is Ishvara. And we discussed that how about God, how God exists, how we cannot become God. You remember? We cannot become God, we can become godly. The third thing that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita is time or Kala. The fourth thing that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita is karma or action. And the fifth thing that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita is Prakriti. That is nature. So we will now begin from here. We will begin our discussion from this Prakriti. How there are 2 types of Prakriti, and we'll be first discussing about the first Prakriti, and maybe after 1 or 2 classes we'll be discussing about the second Prakriti. Prakriti is of 2 types, right? We say nature, na? Nature हमको क्या लगता है? एक ही type का nature है, जो हमको दिखता है, वही nature है. But actually there are 2 natures. One is the material nature, and another is the spiritual nature. The spiritual nature is called the para prakriti, and material nature is called the apara prakriti. Para prakriti, apara prakriti, or this is also called daivi prakriti, and this is called bhautik prakriti. So we will discuss how Bhagavad Gita explains about these two natures. There is bhautik prakriti and then there is spiritual prakriti. Okay. So we will start our discussions on our advanced course discussing on prakriti. We discussed about soul. We discussed a little bit about God. We will discuss further about God in our next sessions. We discussed about time, but not so elaborately. We discussed elaborately about karma. And now we will discuss about the fifth one, prakriti, in our advanced course. Okay. You are able to understand where we are now, what we are going to do now. So in the beginning about prakriti, we are going to first discuss this, bhautik prakriti, material nature. And then we will discuss about daivi prakriti. Okay. Okay, let's start. So Krishna controls this bhautik prakriti through Durga Devi. She is actually the, you can say, the director, the MD, the managing director of the material bhautik prakriti. There are two types of prakriti, daivi prakriti and bhautik prakriti. Daivi prakriti is taken care by Radharani, bhautik prakriti is taken care by Durga Devi, right? So Krishna controls. So Durga Devi is the in charge of the material energy. Durga Devi doesn't directly act. She acts through something called three modes, which we are going to study today. So what are three modes? The three modes are basically agents through which Durga Devi works. The three modes are actually the power, three powers through which Durga Devi acts in the material world. Rather, everything in material world is controlled by three modes, which in turn are controlled by Durga Devi. सब कुछ तीन गुण से controlled है. We will discuss and we will see how. Okay. So three modes controls. Three modes controls everything, practically everything in this world. Okay. Okay, there is some sound somewhere. Please keep muted. Yeah. So, bhautik prakriti, the material nature is made of three modes. So, we will recite this verse from Bhagavad Gita 14.5. This is Bhagavad Gita 14.5. Please make a note. Bhagavad Gita 14.5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sattvam Rajas Tama Iti. Yeah. Recite. Madhurpur, recite.
Sattvam Rajas Tama Iti.
Guna Prakriti Sambhava.
Guna Prakriti Sambhava.
Nibadnanti Mahabaho.
Mahabahu.
Dehe Dehi Namabhyayam.
Dehe Dehinam Avadyam.
Sattvam Rajas Tama Iti. Someone else?
Sattvam Rajas Tama Iti.
Guna Prakriti Sambhava.
Guna Prakriti Sambhava.
Nibadnanti Mahabaho.
Nibandhanti Mahabaho.
Dehe Dehi Namabhyayam.
Dehe Dehi Namabhyayam.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Amazing. All of you are learning very nicely. So, we will recite, we will see every element of this verse. This verse is a very, very important verse from Bhagavad Gita describing Bhautik Prakriti. Okay. This verse contains everything about Bhautik Prakriti. Sattvam, number 1. Raja, number 2. Tama, number 3. So these are the three modes. सत्व, रज एंड तमा। गुणा, गुणा मतलब मोड्स, मोड्स को संस्कृत में गुणा बोलते हैं। प्रकृति संभवा, संभवा प्रकृति मतलब भौतिक प्रकृति, संभवा मतलब प्रकृति से जागृत होता है। भौतिक प्रकृति ये 3 गुणों से सम्यक रूपेण भवा मतलब पैदा हुआ है या बना हुआ है, मेड। द प्रकृति इज मेड ऑफ 3 मोड्स, सत्व, रज, तम, 3 मोड्स। निबद्ध तो करता क्या है, ये 3 मोड से बना है तो करता क्या है, निबध्नन्ति बांधता है, बाइंड्स। महाभाव मतलब हे अर्जुन, किसको बाइंड करता है, देहे देहिनम अव्ययम। दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड in this verse. We have to understand what mode does and it binds. गुण मतलब binds, किसको बाइंड करता है, देहे देहिनम अव्ययम। देह मतलब बॉडी, देही मतलब बॉडी में कौन रहता है, बॉडी में कौन रहता है, सोल। परफेक्ट। तो इन दोनों का जो बाइंडिंग फोर्स है वो है 3 मोड्स। अगर ये बाइंडिंग फोर्स चला जाएगा तो सोल निकल के चला जाएगा, वो रहेगा नहीं बॉडी के अंदर। सोल बॉडी के अंदर है बिकॉज देहे देहिनम, देह के साथ देही को जोड़ के रखता है, बांध के रखता है ये 3 गुण। ओके, समझ में आया। हम एलाबोरेटली बाद में देखेंगे क्या है ये चीज, बट ये श्लोक का अर्थ ये है। भगवान बोल रहे हैं 3 गुण है, देयर आर 3 मोड्स, सत्व, रज एंड तमा। और पूरा प्रकृति जो है, भौतिक प्रकृति 3 गुण से बना हुआ है। निबध्नन्ति वो बांध के रखता है ये 3 गुण। क्या बांधता है, शरीर को आत्मा के साथ बांधता है। ओके, गुड, इट्स वेरी सिंपल संस्कृत। नाउ वी विल सी what it does. Okay, we'll go ahead. So modes और गुणा in Sanskrit means rope, रस्सी। मोड्स और गुण का मतलब है रस्सी। गुण का मतलब ऑल्सो है क्वालिटी। उसका गुण अच्छा नहीं है, हम बोलते हैं ना मधुर कोहली का गुण अच्छा नहीं है, हर वक्त बदमाशी करता है, गुण बोलते हैं ना। श्री निताई दास खाली चप्पर चप्पर करता है, उसका गुण है खाली चप्पर 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 करना, इतना क्लास देता है, इतना क्लास देता है, गुण समझ रहे हैं। उसका गुण इतना अच्छा है, इतना गुणवती लड़की शादी में दिया है, इतना गुणवती बहुरानी आई घर में, इसे बोलते हैं ना। गुण मतलब क्या है, क्वालिटीज। एक्चुअली गुण ही हमको बांध के रखता है। किसी का अगर खराब गुण है, हम क्या बोलते हैं, उसका तो गुण खराब है, वो तो खराब काम करेगा ही करेगा। समझ में आ रहा है, जिसका गुण खराब है तो वो क्या करेगा, खराब काम करेगा। तो गुण का मतलब है, गुण मीन्स विच बाइंड्स। ओके, नाउ वी विल सी व्हाट इट बाइंड्स। देयर आर 3 गुणास, देयर इज सत्व गुणा, रजो गुणा एंड तमो गुणा। सत्व गुणा defines knowledge, rajoguna it defines desires, tamoguna defines madness. We will see क्या है ये elaborately later on. We will go ahead little bit. So we know our body is constituting these 8 elements. हमने पढ़ा है how our body constitute of 8 elements. Can anyone say what are the 8 elements of our body? Yeah, anyone? Anyone? Five gross elements. There are 5 gross elements. Okay. Earth, water, fire, air.
Earth, water, fire, ether.
Very good, very good. There are 5 gross elements. and then there are 3 subtle elements. What are the subtle elements?
Mind, intelligence.
Yeah, mind.
Man, buddhi, ahankar.
Very good. Man, buddhi, ahankar. Mind, intelligence, and ego. Now, this is the gross body. This is the subtle body, and here is the soul, Atma. Now, the soul is actually completely different from Bhautik Prakriti. The soul is spirit, and these are all matter. Now, matter and spirit both are like oil and water. It has no connection. It will never bind. It always requires a binding force, and that force that binds between matter and spirit is actually the 3 gunas. Okay. So how it binds? It binds actually the soul and the subtle body. The 3 gunas bind the soul and the subtle body. Like, I'll give you an example how it binds. You will see that imagine some person has a bad habit. Okay, so bad habit of drinking always. So this person has a bad habit of drinking. Wherever he goes out, his mind will always be thinking about where I will find alcohol, where I'll find alcohol, where I'll find alcohol. Right? So alcohol has a particular mode and his mind has in a particular mode, and both are getting binded. So this is the binding force. The soul doesn't need alcohol, but the soul thinks I cannot survive without alcohol. You are able to understand? Is this not binding? The soul doesn't need alcohol, but the soul has a conception that अरे बाप रे दारू के बिना कैसे जीऊंगा, मैं तो मर ही जाऊंगा. This is the binding. This is how we are all completely bound and we are so helpless. This is what is being shown ahead in this. So if you see how the soul is within this gross body and subtle body. This is the gross body we are talking about. This is the subtle body. The subtle body also looks like the gross body only. And the soul is within the gross subtle body. And what is the binding force? What is the binding force is these 3: goodness, passion and ignorance. They bind the soul with the subtle body. बांध के रखता है. As far as a particular mode you are in, your soul is bound by that mode. You cannot come out. You cannot come out. Right? Like people say, मेरे को ये अच्छा लगता है. And then जो अच्छा लगता है, they cannot come out from that. जो खराब लगता है, they cannot come out from that. तो ये अच्छा, बुरा, खराब, किसी को प्रसाद अच्छा लगता है, किसी को शराब अच्छा लगता है, किसी को स्मोकिंग अच्छा लगता है, किसी को स्मोकिंग में उल्टी आ जाता है, शराब में उल्टी आ जाता है. That attachment, who is attached to what thing, is basically modes of nature. आपका मन जिस गुण में है, आप उसी ऑब्जेक्ट की गुण के प्रति आकर्षित होंगे. So that means, going ahead, there are 3 gunas: sattva gun, rajogun and tamoguna. So Modes affect everything, every place. Like the beer bar has a particular mode. Which mode it is? Mode of ignorance. Beautiful forest is in Sattva-guna. Aap pee ke is in Tama-guna. And then saintly person is in Satya-guna. So every place, everything is affected by, everything and every place is affected by the modes. Every object is affected by the modes. Every dress we wear is affected by the modes. Every place is affected by the modes. And there is a percentage of modes in everything. There is some percent. And you see there are 3 colors. If you see, if you go ahead, this is very important. Just like red, green, blue are called primary colors. You know something called primary colors? You can create any color from red, green, blue. You mix red, green, blue in this, you see 255, 0, 0, and then 255, 0, 127, 255, 255, like that. If you mix red, green, blue in certain proportion, you can create actually all types of color. Exactly in the same way, there are 3 modes of material nature, and these 3 modes in different proportions create different types of bodies, create different types of objects which reflect a mode. So basically, if you go ahead, how I ruled came, okay. Okay, the rule has come. Now, if you see what I was telling here is, how many of you have seen antennas?
2 antennas.
Yes. So all of us are having both a transmitter antenna and a receiver antenna. And what we are transmitting? A particular proportion of 3 modes. Let's say this is going ahead. Oh, why this is coming like this ruled? Okay. So now this is Sri Nitai Das. If I give example, you will understand. Okay, this is Sri Nitai Das. Now Sri Nitai Das has an antenna. This is transmitter and this is receiver. Okay, in transmitter he is transmitting RGB, that is Sattva-gun. Okay, let me write Sattva. Oh, sorry. Sattva, Raja and Tama. 30% Sattva, 50% Raja and 20% Tama. He is transmitting this. And there is this Madhur Kohli. He is also having a transmitter and he is also having a receiver. And Madhur Kohli also has Sattva Raja Guna, some combination 25, 45 and 25. And because these two are almost in range, so Sri Nitai Das and Madhur Kohli बहुत अच्छा जम रहा है, chemistry match हो रहा है. You are understanding? When we say chemistry उसका match होता है, basically यही chemistry match होता है. हम कौन से proportion का सत्व रजो तमोगुण ट्रांसमिट कर रहे हैं और वो क्या रिसीव करना चाहता है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल श्री निताय दास एक लिजर्ड को देखता है, इतना भद्दा लगता है, क्या लिजर्ड है, लाइक लिजर्ड का इतना वो नहीं लगेगा. I went to one person's house. They had invited me for kirtan and all, and then I was doing kirtan. Wow 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 करके आवाज आने लग गया. And then that small daughter, oh, my doggy is feeling very bad, Piyu or something they were calling that doggy. And then मैं बोला ठीक है उसको ले आओ, because वो इतना परेशान कर रहा था. And these people were also restless कि डॉगी को लेके आना चाहिए, वो कर रहा है, उसको भी कीर्तन सुनना चाहिए. And then they brought that doggy, and for the daughter, the doggy was looking so cute. And when I saw the dog, उसका ऐसे मुंह चपटा है, ऐसे आजकल एक डॉग होता है ना, गया मुंह चपटा है ऐसे छोटू सा, and I was feeling like मैं उल्टी कर लूँ, I'll vomit seeing the face of the dog. And the small girl saying, my cute doggy, ऐसे मैं बोला हे भगवान, this is not looking cute. So everyone has a definition of what is cute, correct? Everyone has a definition of what is beautiful. Sri Nitai Das, for him, that doggy that is not looking cute, but for that girl, that doggy was looking very cute. Why? That doggy was giving a proportion of SRT, Sattva Rajatama. And that girl, Sattva Rajatama, is matching. And Vichara Sri Nitai Das is giving a different proportion of Sattva Rajatama, and that's why he's not getting attracted. So the entire every object, it's not about just Sri Nitai Das, every object, you will see how the whole world is designed, that certain people will be attracted to certain objects, while certain people will not love that object. Why? Because even every object is transmitting, and we are receiving. Like liquor, certain people will be so attracted to it, and certain people will vomit to it, repel by it, because liquor is transmitting SRT, maybe Sattva 0, Raja 0 and Tamo 100. And those who are in that SRT combination, for them, the alcohol, so beautiful. Like I was giving an example of one lady, there was a story, the lady was there, how the modes affect. I think last class I was giving, two ladies I was giving example, one lady fisherwoman lady, I don't know where I was giving example, last class I was telling, fisherwoman lady and the flower woman lady. Yes, anyone knows? No, not in this class. Fisherwoman, flower woman. Okay. So there was two, one fisherwoman and flower woman. These two ladies were very good friends, And fisherwoman and flower woman, these two ladies used to go and sell. The lady will sell fish, the lady will sell flower, and then they will go. One day, what happened in the market area was far away. The fisherwoman was staying near the coastal area, and flower woman lady was staying in the city only. So there was a storm, thunderstorm. So this flower woman and fisherwoman, while they were returning back, the fisherwoman could not go back because her home was very far, and the flower woman said, you stay here in my house overnight, and tomorrow morning you can go. He said, okay, I'll go. So now this flower lady felt, my friend has come in my house. I should decorate her living place, that place where she will stay with all flowers and flowers and flowers. But then the flower lady said to the fisher lady, you see, these flowers are to be offered to Vishnu, and you cannot take your fish basket inside the room. You have to keep your fish basket outside the room, and then you can come, because these flowers are for Deva Puja, and then if you bring the fish item, it will get contaminated. He said, okay, I will keep my basket outside, I will only stay. And then in the night, when the fisher lady was sleeping, and the flower lady went to her room along with her husband, started sleeping. So she was not able to sleep. She was feeling suffocated. And why she was feeling suffocated? With the smell of the flowers, she was feeling suffocated. No sleep was coming. And then she was finding what to do. And she remembered her friend had said, fish basket ko bahar rakhna hai. And then she went outside in the veranda. She kept her fish basket near her nose. Smelling that, she slept. This is called modes. This is how we are bound by the modes. The flower lady is bound by the modes of the flowers, and the fisherman lady is bound by the modes of the fish. Without fish, how I can live? And the flower lady, without flower, how I can live? So now, if you go ahead, so there are two things. First is about objects, and second is about living beings. Now, objects are only transmitters. They are only transmitters. They do not have receivers. They don't receive. They only transmit the three modes, different modes. But we living beings, we have a both receiver and also a transmitter. We are receiving some gunas, we are also transmitting some gunas. We are getting attracted to those gunas which is our guna. Let's say our SRT combination is some 20, 30 and 50. So we transmit this SRT combination, and we also get attracted to those who are having this combination. So, but everyone is affected by modes. Only difference is the objects are only transmitting, but living beings are both transmitting and receiving. You are able to understand? Are you able to understand the concept, right? So all of you, those who are attending classes, all of you also have your own unique factor, SRT factor. You are transmitting certain factor, you are receiving certain factor. The very fact that you are attending my classes, बेसिक्स भी खत्म हो गया, एडवांस्ड भी कर रहे हैं, वीडियो ऑन करके नोट्स बना रहे हैं, सो योर सत्व गुणा इज वेरी हाई. Otherwise you cannot read Bhagavad Gita. Until unless your sattva factor is high, you will not be able to read Bhagavad Gita. That's why what are the three gunas and the three characteristics of the gunas? If you see, right? What happened? Where it went? Yeah, this one. Now we'll discuss on this. So there are Sattva-guna has two characteristics, Rajoguna has two characteristics, and Tamoguna has two characteristics. कैसे पता चलेगा? Who is in Sattva-gun, who is in Rajogun, who is in Tamogun? Sattva-gun people are always very happy. You will find some people, no matter whatever happens in their life, they are always very positive. Always very happy. They will see the positive thing in everything. And then there are some people, they will see negative thing in most positive thing. Imagine some person, if they get some stomach problem. Say, ठीक है भगवान एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा स्टोमक प्रॉब्लम दे रहे हैं, कितनों का तो पूरा सर्जरी हो गया प्रभु जी, पूरा स्टोमक काट के निकाल दिया, मेरे को तो थोड़ा एंटासिड खा के मेरा चल जाता है, कितना अच्छा मेरा सिचुएशन है, राइट? सम पीपल. Another person, he will have a 1 crore lottery. He will get a 1 crore lottery. He will think, अरे क्या फायदा ये 1 करोड़ लॉटरी का, पेट इतना खराब है, क्या कर सकता हूँ. So you will find some people, even in the most greatest prosperity, they will find negativity. They are tamoguni people. They are tamoguni people. Tamoguna means madness, pagalpan. Tamoguna means laziness. And Tamoguna means intoxication. So these are characteristics of Tamoguna. They will find negative in everything. They are always in madness. They will, for good, they will think it as bad. For bad, they will think it as good. They are Tamoguna. Tamha means ignorance. And Rajoguna people means competition. I want more, 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 more. They will never be satisfied with whatever they have. They just want more and more and more and more in life. And Sattva-guni people are satisfied. They are grateful. They are positive in life. They are always happy and cheerful. So these are Sattva-guni. So Sattva-guni means they are having knowledge and they are always happy. Rajogun people means they are having passion, they are having competitive mentality, they want just more, more and much more. And Tamoguni people means they just want to disturb others, destroy others, they are mad, they are intoxicated, they are sleeping always. So these are descriptions. So as we go ahead, we will see how these gunas affect different things and how we know how these gunas are there. So we will go ahead now. Okay. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So this we saw. And you understood this analogy of colors? How 3 कलर से पूरा कलर स्पेक्ट्रम हो जाता है. सिमिलरली 3 गुण से पूरा वर्ल्ड बनाया गया है. ओके ओके. नाउ वी विल सी about more elaborately about mode of goodness. The numbers that are given, they are Bhagavad Gita verses. Okay, I'll share the PPT anyway. So how good a mode of goodness, Sattva-gun कैसा होता है? Sattva-guni people, they always have a sense of happiness, sense of positivity always within themselves. They will see happiness, positivity in everything in this world. Just like some people say, na, if a glass is half full, so they will see glass is half filled with water. They will not see the glass is half empty. They are Sattva-guni people. And they have a sense of knowledge. They want to find out what is this world is, how the world is working. They are always inquisitive. They are always contemplative. They are always thoughtful. They are Sattva-guni people. So some people may have certain Sattva-gun. It's not that someone is pure sattva-guni, 100 sattva and R0 and T0, ऐसा नहीं होता है. तो 100 अगर सत्व 80 हुआ and R20 हुआ and ये 0 हुआ, that is also a सत्वगुणी people. Predominantly, समझ में आ रहा है, सत्व जिसका है. Okay. So, and they want to they don't want to do sinful life, they don't want to hurt others, they don't want to trouble others. Be good, do good, अच्छे से रहो, सबको प्रेम बांटो. You understand? So these are predominantly sattva-guni people. And then where they are destined to, after death, sattva-guni people will go to higher planets, Swargaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, all those things. And they will go to elevation of higher planets, and they will always seek knowledge. So this is sattva-guni people. They want to live a pure life, they are positive and all those things, Krishna says. And then Rajoguni people, their attachment is they want more and more in life. And they will see everything कि इस चीज से मेरे को क्या मिलेगा. If I don't get anything in this thing, I would not like to do this activity. मेरे को profit होना चाहिए, profit. Not especially about money, but some profit should come and then they will work. So these are Rajoguni people, right? And they have a lot of desires, attachment, ye, wo, and all those things. Like for example, I'll tell you a story. So just to keep you a little entertained, there was one, just keep it blank. Yeah, not required. So there was one, just to give an example of what is a Rajoguni person. So there was one cloth merchant. So this cloth merchant kapda ka kaam karta tha wo. And he had 4 sons. And he had got old, little bit old, but he was not leaving the shop. And the 4 sons were feeling, पापा कब दुकान छोड़ेंगे, हमको थोड़ा फ्रीडम मिलेगा, हम भी कुछ करें, कुछ पैसा इन्वेस्ट करें, इधर करें, उधर करें. And that man was sitting and sitting, and these 4 sons were telling, पापा अभी तीर्थ यात्रा जाइए, अभी थोड़ा घूमिए, नाउ भगवद गीता पढ़िए, श्री निताई दास ने गीता क्लास चालू किया, उसको अटेंड कीजिए. ना टाइम कहाँ है, इतना बिजनेस है, ये है, वो है, all those things he used to tell to the sons. And sons were frustrated. You know, this fellow is not going out. All our wives are telling, invest the money in some other place, start some other business along with the cloth business, this and that, so many things. So then they met one sadhu, and they told ki, Maharaj, you have some solution. Now what is the problem? The problem is my father is not ready to give up the business and go for Tirth Yatra. He has gone old and he is not giving us any freedom. We have gone so old, we have got married, we have our children. Still our papa is sitting on the shop and managing and controlling everything. And we are getting choked up. So the sadhu said, I have an idea. Now what is the idea? Take your father to crematorium. He has already gone old. If he goes to crematorium, if he sees dead bodies coming, and he will have a lot of detachment. And with that detachment, he can go to Tirth, and then you can enjoy the business. You can do the business in your way. So very nice. Yes. So then they planned that someone died in the mohalla, and these sons told that we will sponsor that man's rites, and our father will go as the person who will sponsor. And then they took their father, and all the 4 sons went. And in the crematorium, the body was kept in a line. There were so many bodies to be burnt. And this man was counting, seeing all bodies coming one by one, one by one. This old man started crying. And the sons were like jumping. Amazing! Our job is done. Papa is crying. Detachment has come. He will leave the business. And he was crying like anything. He was holding the elder son's body and he was embracing him. Beta, maine kitna galti kar diya. I wasted my life. And the son was thinking, yes, Papa, you wasted your life. Now you have to read Bhagavad Gita. I wasted my life. And Then the body, that body whom they are waiting, that went for getting burned and wasted my life. And he was crying all the way, he was crying. And finally, the son asked the Papa, why are you thinking that you wasted your life? And this man said, Ki beta, I wasted my life because I did cloth business. If I would have done this wood business, it's recession free. So many people are dying every day. So many people are dying, beta. I think we should invest the money in this wood business and I should start a new business as the wood business. And the son said, nothing can happen. So this is Rajogun. This is Rajogun. That Rajoguni people, they just want to work, work, work. What is their pleasure? Work. You have seen people nowadays, they have no, what their pleasure is working only. Arey, what is there in pleasure in working like a donkey? Now work, work, work like the donkey, they're working and working. Workaholics. You know this term, now workaholics. So they're just working, working, working and working. And their only happiness in the Rajoguni people is बैंक अकाउंट में पैसा बढ़ रहा है. 1 रुपए वो यूज कर नहीं पाता है. करेगा कैसे? 5-6 दिन काम करता है, खटता है और फिर आके सो जाता है. फिर उठता है, फिर काम करता है और साल में 1-2 बार कहीं घूमने चला जाता है. But that is only happiness that my bank account is increasing, 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 increasing. That is Rajoguni person. That is what is being written here. And what is a Tamoguni person? At least Rajoguni is better. At least he is working productively. कुछ तो अच्छा कर रहा है. Tamoguni person is what? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Show the slide. Okay. So what are the destination of the Rajoguni people? They will mostly live in the earth. They will not go to higher destinations. They mostly live in the earth. And they will have miserable time. Because every time you will not get success. Na? Every time your money will not increase. So when money will increase and when money will decrease, so they are always in sinusoid. They are always like this. Rajoguni people, always they will be in a sinusoid. Kab has khus, kab so like that they will always be in their life. Saptaguni are always cheerful. In failure also cheerful. In success also cheerful. But Rajoguni, like this, they will be their happiness. आज कैसे चल रहा है? बहुत अच्छा, आज तो मजा आ गया. और कल उनको पूछेंगे क्या करें, ठीक है आज स्टॉक गिर गया, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. So they'll keep on oscillating like this. So they are Rajoguni people. But one good thing about these Rajoguni people is they will not hurt others. They are greedy, they want more, but they will not hurt others. But then there are Tamoguni people, they are mad. They are greedy also and they will exploit also others. Their greed is not just I will work hard and get money. Their greed is I will work in such a way that I will stop everyone and I will only rule and I will show everyone. I will destroy everyone. I will be the only angel like Duryodhana, like Ravana, like Hiranyakashipu. They are Tamoguni people. Right? So Tamoguni people are they're mad, they're deluded. Just like how you see Duryodhana Karna, they are mad. कोई अपनी बहु रानी को भरी सभा में आके उसको ऐसे करता है. Yeah, what a madness. Huh? So these are Tamoguni people. Tamoguni people, they can do anything and everything. Rajoguni people are not like that. Rajoguni people, they will get money. They want money. But Tamoguni people, they want money by hook or crook. Even if it is to trouble others, destroy others, kill others, I will need money. So they are mad. And then they will work hard. They will drink something and sleep, get into drugs or something. And they always be deluded. So this is working in mode of ignorance. and there is inertia and darkness and all those things. And these mode of ignorance people, they are in those who remain in Tamagun, they get into lower species. They become animals, they become snakes, or they may have to go to hellish planets in their next life. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that is in the 14th chapter, 14th verse, Krishna says they are taking birth in the lower species. If you remain, that we will see in the end of the slides. Okay. So, Sattva-guni people generally will worship demigods, Krishna, and they will worship. And the Rajoguni people, they will worship demons. Unke liye their role models will be demons. And ignorance people, they will worship ghosts and spirits. Bhoot, Pisach, you know, black magic, tantric, you know. So they will worship like this. So Krishna says in the 17th chapter that the Sattva-guni people will worship the demigods. They will worship gods, they will understand the philosophy, they will read Bhagavad Gita, understand everything. But the Rajoguni people, they will worship the demon type persons. And the Tamoguni people, they will worship Bhoot, Pisach, like that. Similarly, food. So just like you see, worship is in 3 modes. Similarly, food is also in 3 modes. So mode of goodness fruits are juicy, fatty, wholesome, pleasing to the heart. It increases the duration of life, purifies one's existence, gives strength and health. And mode of passion food is too salty. You have seen some people, they eat something and then they are in mode of, those foods are in mode of too salty, too oily, too bitter, anything ati is mode of passion. And effects of such food, Krishna says, is distress. दुख आएगा, आज खाएंगे पेट में इतना एसिडिटी होगा, फिर बहुत दुख मिलेगा. And it will create misery, it will create disease. And mode of ignorance food is tasteless, decomposed, badbudar, putrid, and it creates infection, it creates disease. You see so many diseases like swine flu. How the swine flu is coming? From rotten that pig meat. Yes, swine is pig only. So many diseases have come into human society, they were not there. By eating this tamoguni food, they have come. This COVID, and some people were telling how the COVID, some conspiracy, or I don't know what it is, some bats or something came from that. But many of the diseases have come to human society by eating this mode of ignorance, tamoguni food. There are some human beings, they eat anything and everything. They eat snakes, they eat lizards, they eat this and that, and all those diseases come to them. But human beings are supposed to eat sattva-guni food. They are supposed to eat sattva-guni food because it increases the duration of life, it purifies one's existence, gives strength. Basically, vegetarian food involving fruits, vegetables, and juicy fruits and all those things. With adequate amount of salt, sour and bitter and not too oily. So if we eat that food, it nourishes our sattva-gun, Krishna says. And then there is sacrifice. The sattva-guni people, those who are in mode of goodness, they will do everything as a matter of duty. They will do their job as a matter of duty. They will do everything as a matter of duty. But Rajoguni people, they will see profit. Agar profit nahi hai, they will not do anything. And Tamoguni people, they will not think about anything. मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है, उसको खराब लगे, अच्छा लगे, बुरा लगे, दुनिया बर्बाद हो, जो भी हो, मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है, मैं करूँगा. मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है उसको मारना, I will kill him. So these are Tamoguni people. So Krishna says in the 17th chapter, these verse numbers are there. You can go back and read the translations of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that how Sattva-guni people, they do some sacrifice or they do some thing in their life. Tapasya, austerity. The Sattva-guni people, they will do tapasya just to please someone out of duty, or they will do something austerity like parents, they do so much of tapasya for their children. They will do some tapasya, okay, ठीक है, बच्चों का अच्छा होगा, बच्चे आगे बढ़ेंगे. But the rajoguni people, they will do tapasya, मेरे को क्या मिलेगा, बच्चों को ऐसा मिलेगा, मेरे को क्या मिलेगा. Like nowadays you will see that people are not attached to their kids only. Why? Because they have become too rajoguni. Sattoguni is not there only. And if Sattoguni is not there, you cannot raise children. Nowadays no one wants child. Why they don't want child? Because Rajogun and Tamogun has increased. Because unless you have Sattogun, you cannot raise a child. Because you have to have a sacrificing nature. You have to give him time. You have to give our energy. Yes, how much time and energy goes in raising a child. And why nowadays people don't want kids? Because so much of Rajogun and Tamogun is increasing. And there is no sacrificing nature for others. मेरे को क्या मिल रहा है? Why now husband and wife so much of fight? Husband is so much of tamogun. मेरे को मिलना चाहिए सब कुछ. And wife is thinking मेरे को मिलना चाहिए. यार दोनों रहेंगे कैसे एक साथ? Until unless there is sattva gun, I am telling you, there can be no productivity in any regard. एक कंपनी हो, एक फैमिली हो, एक रिलेशनशिप हो, सत्व गुण से ही something positivity and productivity बढ़ता है. So sattva is about positivity, rajogun is about passion, and tamogun is about distraction. About so much of distraction. So in this way, Krishna says that sattva people are always in the mode of doing something as a duty, to sacrifice for others, helping others. So that is there. So in this way, these are different things which you can read. So what I mean to say will end in 2-3 minutes. That next class we'll discuss further. So we are both transmitting and receiving, and we have a particular composition of SRT which is actually binding us. It's actually a percentage which ultimately gets added up to 100. So some people have 20, some people have 50, and some people have 30. So like that, there is an entire percentage. We are transmitting and we are also receiving that. Based on what we are transmitting and what we are receiving, we get attracted to different things, to different people in this world. And the goal of life, actually, all the three things are binding, but Sattva Gun binds us to positivity. Rajogun binds us to passion. And Tamogun binds us to destruction. Anyway, बंधा रहना है, तो किसमें बंधा रहना अच्छा है? कौन बोलेगा?
Positivity.
Sattva. So that is what it is. Bhagavad Gita is about helping you to rise above the Rajo and Tamogun and come to Sattva Gun. More we read Bhagavad Gita, more we follow the principles of spirituality, your Raja and Tama is going to reduce and Sattva is going to increase. And that's how we see that as we start reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, associating with sadhus who have more sattvas, then our sattva also increase. Because I am transmitting certain sattva, and all of you, as you hear from me, associate from me, you also associate with my sattva. समझ में आ रहा है ना? Like I will give an example. This is a fitting example here. Like when I was in IIT, my friends, those who used to, my batchmates, so one lab we used to have, which is called the control system lab. So this control system lab, that apparatus, whatever we are there, one apparatus used to cost 1 crore, 2 crores like that. And because those one setup, control system setup was so costly, so IIT could not afford that. Generally, we have 2 people for one setup. That was the IIT norm. But since the control system lab was, the apparatus was so costly, 2 people, one, एक crore खर्चा करेंगे, and we were 30 of us, then 15 crore तो खर्चा हो जाएगा, right? You are able to understand? So that is how in that control system lab, it was not 2 people, it was 8 people per setup. And 8 IITians, teenagers in a setup, what they will do? There was only no control system. It was an uncontrolled system lab. Everyone was just gossiping, chilling out, and doing nothing. And because people used to gossip and all, what gossip? All the teenagers, what they will gossip? All nonsense they used to gossip. All nonsense, fully non-veg. There is nothing like very, very horrible. So 8 were there, 8 of my batchmates were there. And then I was the 8th person. So I would generally come little late. And when I will come, actually the work will start. When I will reach, अरे चलो अभी SDN आ गया है, अभी कुछ इस तरह का उस तरह का बात नहीं, अभी बस पढ़ाई का बात. And then immediately all the 7 of them will all become so focused. One girl was there and 6 boys and myself, all 8 of us. सब पूरा focus हो जाएंगे. SDN बोलो कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, ये वो करना है. And then I will do the work and I will leave also early, half an hour before. And as soon as I leave, immediately अभी चला बहुत अच्छा अभी. Now let's start. Now let's start our real fun. So this is how even outside people then can sense that okay, इस person का सत्व ज़्यादा है. They didn't accept my sattva, but at least they didn't disturb my sattva. That they were like, okay, ठीक है, this SDN has come. We will not discuss all these nonsense things and whatever it is. So what I am telling is, more and more you associate with spirituality, more and more you associate with sadhus, more and more you associate with Bhagavad Gita, your sattva is going to increase. And your raja and tama is going to reduce slowly and slowly. But you have to keep on associating more and more. Understand? कोई को बोलता है ना कि अरे खाली भगवद गीता सुनने से क्या हो जाएगा? Don't think Bhagavad Gita is everything has a transmitter. You're understanding? Everything is transmitting, and you associate with that transmission, you get affected by that transmission. You come to temple, you read Bhagavad Gita, associate with sadhus, immediately positivity will be nourished in your life and negativity, passion and all those things will go down. So this is how the modes are affecting us, they are binding us. And since we know that we are bound, better let us be bound by positivity, not be bound by negativity. That is the principle what Krishna is telling in these verses. Okay, is this clear? So we will go ahead next week. We will see how next week, okay, we are bound, then how we can come out. And also we will see why we are bound. So going ahead in the next week, today we saw how we are bound. And next week we'll saw, okay, why you are not showing? So how we are bound, today we saw, we are bound by the 3 modes. And we are transmitting and we are also receiving certain amount of modes, and in this way we are bound. And the next question is why we are bound? Yes? Who is bound? Can anyone say who is bound? किसको बांध के रखा जाता है?
स्लेव को, स्लेव.
हाँ. तो क्यों हमको बांध के रखा गया है? ओके, हमको पॉजिटिविटी में भी बांधना है, सत्वगुण में बांधना है, पर क्यों मैं बंधा हुआ रहूंगा? So, and the third question is how to become free. So these are two we will answer next class. क्यों हम बंधे हुए हैं, कैसे बंधन से निकला हुआ है. And those people who are telling that they are free, they are free, they are free, like people will say, na, you drink alcohol, you'll feel free. You smoke, you'll feel cool. Actually, you'll get more bounded by tamogun. No one is free. Everyone is bound. Everyone is bound in this world, right? So how we can actually become free only when we are free. We are free from the modes. If we are free from the modes, then actually we are free. So we will see how to become free from the three modes. Okay, is this clear? Anyone has any question?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Yes.
आपने अभी एक पहली बात तो आपने एग्जांपल दिया कि सोल जो है वो अफेक्टेड हो जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ आवर बिहेवियर एंड आवर अटैचमेंट डिटैचमेंट.
Yes.
बट ये भी तो आपने कई बार कहा है कि सोल इज वेरी प्योर, इज अ पार्सल ऑफ गॉड, देन इज अ पार्ट ऑफ गॉड ओनली. So how something which is so pure is part of God gets affected so easily by the material attachment or detachment?
Yeah. So the soul is here. The soul is pure, and the modes actually affect the subtle body. The modes don't affect the soul. The modes affect the subtle body, and the modes bind the subtle body with the soul. The soul is still pure always. Now how the soul is affected, because that is what we are going to discuss next class. Soul is never affected by the modes. The soul remains always pure, but still अगर मेरे को पता चल जाता है, जैसे आपको पता चल गया कि मैं बंधा हुआ हूं, तो तुरंत निकल जाइए ना. आप निकल नहीं सकते हैं. इतना आसान नहीं है तीन गुण से हटना. Why the soul is not able to come out? If the soul is able to experience that मेरे को बंध गया है मैं, why the soul is not able to come out? This we'll discuss next class, because it will take elaboration. It will take a lot of time. Almost take 1 hour to discuss why the soul, who is pure, not affected by the three modes, क्यों बैठा हुआ है शरीर के अंदर. वो तो निकल जाना चाहिए ना. You're able to understand? We will discuss this next class.
Yes, प्रभु. Yes. प्रभु पर एक बात और है, मैंने इससे रिलेशन में एक और दिमाग में आ रहा है कि अगर सबसे पहले तो निकलने की बात तो आती है कि बंधे हुए हैं, तो अगर सोल बंधा हुआ है और सोल पार्ट ऑफ गॉड है, तो बंधा ही क्यों था? भगवान
हाँ,
वही तो
वही तो that's the subject matter of next class. अगर
ओके. दूसरी चीज प्रभु कि आपने बोला कि आप एक जगह कीर्तन करने गए थे, वहां पे there was a pet dog, उसको लेकर के you didn't feel good. तो ऐसे भी तो सोच सकते हैं कि everything is created by God. We should love every living being.
Yes.
Whether it is animal or human.
Yes.
So why did you feel disgusted?
Yes, because stool is also created by God. It's part of God. Can we eat stool?
No, but living being की बात कर रहा हूँ.
Yes, so we can love living being, but every living being we should love. We should not hate every living being. We should not feel. But what I am telling is, based on what is a living being, like ghost is also a living being. Yes, but there are some people who love ghost, and some people remain little aloof from the ghost. Correct? So we have to understand that what is conducive for devotional service, what is not conducive. Like snake is there. Some people keep pets as snakes. You know that? They keep pets as snakes. And nowadays, some people are drinking. There are snake drugs have come. You know that? Their venom drugs have come nowadays. And they take cobra's venom and then they make it powder, reduce it, and then they are nowadays taking it. And they are keeping snakes as pets. So we need to understand that if I want to increase my sattva gun, I have to associate with those objects, those living beings who have more sattva. Though I may love every living being, I may love a snake, but if I associate with a snake, I will also develop qualities like a snake. If I associate with a sattva-guni person, I will develop more positivity. And that is how we have to understand that though everyone is creation of God, everyone we have to love, but we have to have discrimination. Whom to love and how to love. Loving a snake means keeping distance. Loving a dog means feed him, very nice dog, very nice. And loving a saint means hear from him, associate with him. But nowadays people love dogs and keep it in their rooms, and saints and sadhus, no time. Dogs, lot of time. This is not proper. No one is telling don't love dogs. But what I am telling is, जिसको आप जिस तरह का लेवल का प्रेम करेंगे उसी तरह का आपका फ्रेमवर्क बनते जाएगा, उसी तरह का फ्रेमवर्क बन जाएगा. आगे जाके वो स्लाइड है, मैं दिखाता हूं आके. Anyway, because you have asked the question, I'll just take it out. Okay. Yeah. So you see this. So if our subtle body in the human body, if actually subtle body changes within the human body, if we are too attached to dogs, snakes, this, that, we have to understand these animals are in lower modes. Why the animal is in animal? Why I am a human being? I am in more sattva and the person is in more rajo and tama. It's not about not loving animals. We have to love animals, but we should not get affected in terms of the modes also with the animals. But if we get affected by the modes of the animals are in lower modes. The animals are predominantly in tamogun, whether it is a dog or whether it is a cow or whether it is a snake. We love them, but we know them that they are animals, they have got animal birth, and the very fact that they are animals, they are transmitting lot of negativity. We have to restrict our association from the animal species, so that our negativity, we don't get affected by their negativity. But if you do not restrict, then internally our system, subtle body is becoming transformed into a dog only, and next life we'll get a dog body. That's how dangerous it is. So we need to understand that we love everything. We love a drunkard also. Those who are drunkard, we love them also, but we will not associate with them. We will tell them, first give up drinking, and you cannot come to temple while drinking, and then at least you will have some sanity to understand what we are speaking. But we love them, but we discipline them. No, it is not possible. Similarly, we need to understand, if we associate too much with the animals, then we should understand that we are associating with their tamogun, we are associating with their rajogun. Why they have become animals? Why that soul has entered the animal body? That animal is actually resonating lot of tamogun, rajogun, and I'll get affected. And that's how you will see people. Just recently in one of the community here near temple, what happened? One person was a dog lover, and then he started beating the security person so much that the security person became half deaf, just because he loves dog. Can any human being do like this? Okay, we are not telling that we don't love, we love dogs, we love cows, we love everything. But we need to understand that if we associate too deeply with animals, how AIDS has come, tell me. You know how AIDS has come? Anyone knows how AIDS has come to human society?
From monkey,
Monkeys. Now, AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease. How AIDS has come from monkey species to human species? Because some humans have done sex with monkeys. And that's how AIDS have come. AIDS is a highly tamoguni disease. Generally, human beings are not supposed to get all these tamoguni diseases like AIDS, cancer. These diseases were not human diseases. These were all diseases connected with animals. But because we are associating so much of animals in a wrong ways, we have to show love to the animals, but not associate in this way. And then we are getting the diseases of the animals. So, loving animals is one thing, but we need to understand where to keep the boundary to love animals. Otherwise, we will get affected by tamogun and rajogun. Modern society thinks that there are no three modes, there is nothing, and then they get affected. You are able to understand, Subham?
Yes, Prabhu.
We have to be
Hare Krishna.
careful how to associate with whom. And even if, forget about a dog, if we find a tamoguni person also, then we have to be careful. If we are not careful with a tamoguni person, then we will get affected by his tamogun. Forget about dog. You're able to understand? It's not just about dog.
Yes,
Don't see
Prabhu.
the dog. I am just telling a SRT combination. Don't see about dog. We have to increase our sattva. Then we have to associate with those who are transmitting more sattva, correct? And that's why our Vedic scripture says, of all the animals, if you want to associate little more closely with animal, then associate with cow, because it has little more sattva than all other animals. But even cow also we have to give restriction, not that cow becomes everything. And there are some people, they forget Krishna, they forget everything. Guy, go seva. That's not the goal of life. Goal of life is to serve Krishna. We have to love cows, but if we associate too deeply with animals, we will become Rajoguni and Tamoguni. We have to love animals, but not associate with them. You are understanding? Association and loving. We have to love. We love snakes, we love drunkards, we love everything, but हमको पता नहीं चाहिए. Just like a doctor. Doctor loves the patient, but doctor keeps this सब बंद करके जाता है. क्यों? Because the patient has a disease. So now there is gross virus in the patient, but all these lower species have subtle viruses. Subtle, tamogun, rajogun भरा हुआ है उनमें. जितना आप उनके साथ रहेंगे, उतना तमोगुण आपको मिलेगा. That is how we'll see that so many people are becoming loving dog, and they're hating humans. Why they're hating humans? Because their SRT, T is increasing, R is increasing, and S is reducing. And human beings are predominantly sattva. And that is how they are loving so much of dog and they're hating human beings. वो husband is such a dog lover, but wife का शकल नहीं देख सकता है. वो wife क्या dog से भी खराब हो गया. अरे मनुष्य शरीर उसको मिला है. It's a higher birth than the dog. ठीक है, wife थोड़ा कुछ बोल देता है, ये कर देता है, but why this is happening? Because our rajogun, tamogun is increasing. So we need to understand this. Is this clear? It's not just about dog. Okay, anyone else? Done? Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.